today's topic or headline for the Power Hour is stock market and Bitcoin are going to crash. Well, they're kind of moving in tandem now, but then with a little bit of a decoupling, because you would have thought in the old days when the market's down 2%, 3% from its highs, Bitcoin would be down 10% from its highs, which kind of is, but it's hanging in there. I mean, it's volatile, obviously, but not as volatile as before. I think volatility is kind of subsiding on Bitcoin as well. And the reason there was a lot of people called Bitcoin, oh, it crashed. I'm like, what crash? It went from 107,000 was the peak. It went down to 92,000. That's 10, 12%. That's not a crash. Crash is like if it goes from 107,000 to 50,000, maybe that would be called a crash. Look, there are believers in Bitcoin. There are haters of Bitcoin. I'm a believer in Bitcoin. Okay. I even started dollar cost averaging. Even I think my last highest purchase was 102,000. I bought some more yesterday at 93,000. That's $100 a week I'm buying. Every Monday morning, I wake up, have my cup of coffee before I turn my actual trading on. I go to Coinbase, boom, $100, whatever the price is. I couldn't care less what the price is. I'm adding to my position from 6 years ago. I hadn't bought Bitcoin for 6 years. So now I'm going like, okay, I'm a believer in Bitcoin. That's because it goes back to all the debasing of the US dollar and what the government's doing to us, right? So, okay, so that's the only thing that's a holder of value. You know, some people call it digital gold. I'm like, none of that. It's a holder of value to me. Can I go buy something with it? No. Maybe in the short future, I think there's going to be a lot of products coming around backed by Bitcoin. However, the reason Bitcoin took a dump from 107 to 92, this is known, is, you know, have you guys heard of something called Silk Road, which was like where all the illegal stuff takes place in the dark web? Okay, so Silk Road was operating there, and the U.S. Got a hold of a whole bunch of Bitcoin there from these illegal operations, okay? And what happened is that after 4 years in courts, finally, the appellate court greenlight sale of 6.5 billion in seized Silk Road Bitcoin. The ruling does not ensure immediate liquidation of seized Bitcoin, as federal asset forfeiture requires several administrative processes. FYI, a very close friend of mine who lives pretty nearby to me in Northridge, he actually is the one that goes, repossesses all these things, people's homes and stuff. He works for the marshal's office. So shout out to you. The U.S. government has secured final approval in the Northern District Court of California to liquidate crypto's largest ever federal seizure. Okay. And okay. Now, what is the downside to this? Do you all remember? Have maybe you guys, you know, were following me then? About 4 months, 5 months ago, when Bitcoin was going sideways between like 70,000 and 58,000 or whatever it was. You know who sold 50,000 Bitcoin then? The German government did. So now going out, Biden administration is going to sell $6.5 billion of Bitcoin. How many Bitcoin was that, by the way? Let me see. 69,370 Bitcoin. Great. What is that in the total out of 21 million? Nothing. Michael Saylor will buy all that. The point is being facetious here. 70,000 Bitcoin is nothing. Market will absorb, but then what happens? People panic and then they sell. More power to them. You know, better for me. I'll DCA at a lower cost. But that was the reason for Bitcoin to take a little bit of a hiccup, a dump. And it's good for me. I mean, you know, and good for you who believe in Bitcoin or maybe other cryptos, because most of them are moving off of Bitcoin anyway. So this morning, Bitcoin went, I think, to 92,000. And I think it's back to 95,000 already. So it's kind of hanging in there. My prediction was Bitcoin is going to go sideways for a few months and then break out again. We'll see what happens. Those predictions will come out Monday, but I am a believer in Bitcoin. If you're not a believer in Bitcoin, it's okay with me. You know, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to debate you. Everybody has their own opinion about these things. You know, I think Bitcoin should be every part of everyone's portfolio, maybe 5-7%. That's about it. I wouldn't put more than that. Another 5-7% should be gold, because you need to protect yourself against the debasing of the US dollar. How many finite assets are there?